going to go direct to the next set of speakers. We're still with Moving to Hemp, and we're welcoming two speakers to join us here on stage, although we only have the imagery here for one of them. Joining us on stage, Carmelle Riley, who's a trustee of Whenua Kura, and Liz McElhenney, the acting CE of Whenua Kura. Carmelle's focus is moving whānau, young Māori, through to opportunities in the land sector, working with established groups, sectors and institutions to grow skills and training for young people. And she's also the trustee, as I've said, or a trustee of Whenua Kura, and we also have our acting C here on stage as well. So, ladies and gents, for the next 20 minutes, round of applause, please, indeed, for Carmelle Riley, Liz McElhenney.
Tēnā tātou katoa, he mihi mahana. It's great to be here, and you may be wondering what Growing Māori Futures has to do with hemp. Well, I'll let you draw your own conclusions, but we're actually here to bring the people equation into the industry, because with any emerging industry, it's about people, and it's about skills, and it's about the future of New Zealand. So we see ourselves as a movement because we're different. And we really wanted to share the way that we've done it, and to some degree we're outside the mainstream. So yeah, I'll start with letting our young people speak first.
So today we're at Te Runanga o Hokanui, or Hokanui Runanga. The students have completed their agricultural qualifications and now they're graduating. We have all their whānau here, we have the Māori community here, we have all our partners here to celebrate their achievements. A lot of these tauira actually came from the unemployment benefit through MSD, and it's a massive achievement. It takes a lot of courage for these young people to step into the agricultural sector. "60% of our students are female. That's not normal stats in agriculture. 82% have been placed into employment here into Waipounanga. The other 18% are heading over to Australia, so we're very proud of that achievement.
I go into employment in about 4 days' time, next week on Tuesday, so yeah,
Whenua Kura has really helped me develop more character, or how do you say, leadership?
Oh, it's just good to meet heaps of new bros and all of that, yeah. And they helped me into employment, so that was good.
It's helped in a big way just with the certificate. Got the certificate for backup now.
The whole experience of it has been really great, and just the support as well, and the whole outcome of what's happened.
We're proud of our tauira. We're proud of the journey that they've taken on. They're young, they're vibrant. We're celebrating our future as Māori.
So I stand with Liz, and I'm going to talk a little bit about our vision, and she's going to talk about how we're trying to do it. But that pretty much sums up who Whenua Kura is and what we're trying to do. We're about people, New Zealanders, and we're trying to bring through a unique approach. So just a little bit about us. We are, like the hemp industry, a startup enterprise. We were housed in Ngaitahu land in Te Waipounanga, the South Island. And we see ourselves as change agents, so that's changing views of Māori, that's changing views of how we do things. It's about intergenerational knowledge, linking our old people and our ancestors with the opportunities that are in New Zealand. We have linkage with Te Tapu Wai o Rehua, and that's our Māori Futures unit, and that's really about looking at some of the data that we have in New Zealand and some of the economic and social, cultural, environmental opportunities. Our focus is on the agricultural sector, so we actually work with some of the established industry sectors, and again, it's about that linkage with young people, particularly young people. So we had real humble beginnings, but through the process of our development, we've mobilised millions of dollars into group schemes for Māori, and we are the largest Māori land-based training initiative in New Zealand. We were incorporated in, we're a year old, and in our first 6 months we raised over $2 million to support young people into pathways. We did that with the support of a large number of partners, and you can see the diversity of our partnerships there. So again, our backbone is in Ngāi Tahu. It's not just with the iwi, it's actually working with a whole lot of marae communities all across the South Island, and as you've heard, there's lots of arable land, particularly in Canterbury. We work with the 6 iwi there, and I'll talk a little bit later about one of our partnerships with a land owners group. We also work in some of the other areas of New Zealand by invitation, and we connect with young Māori from the top of the North Island all the way down to Murihiku, the south. Some of our industry partners, and I've got to give homage to the Red Meat Partnership, because they were actually the first industry group that said, yeah, we'll back you. So I know that. And we also, Dairy NZ and Plant and Food New Zealand. So those some of the large traditional sectors, but we've said, hey, this is a new way of doing things, and we want to connect Māori with skills. Māori are and my colleague Liz will talk about, one of the only growing sectors of New Zealand society. So we're really around those group training skills that actually grow skills at mass. Just move to the next. So that's our vision: grow the land, grow the people, and grow our nation. And you heard Monica and her journey. These are our PO. So PO as in our focuses. We essentially, it's around growing the New Zealand economy, and we do that by growing skills, and we do that by linking with opportunities, and we do that by connecting people with those who have and some that don't have. And so the way that we do that, our other strategic focuses are largely built around connection, leading, having that strong Māori voice, and being able to bring our models of thinking and our collective way of thinking into people's consciousness and into the value chain. And lastly, insight. So again, we work with data, and some of that data is around where our population of New Zealand is going. So I'm going to hand over to Liz. Liz is the acting kaihotu, and she can talk to you about how we're doing things.
Kia ora tātou. Just a couple of stats really, and I suppose it's just looking at our workforce at the moment, but I think one of the takeaway factors is that Māori own 1.4 million hectares of land, so there's massive opportunity not only in business development but in people development, and that's what we're in. If you look at our future workforce, Māori are younger and will provide a bigger share of the future workforce, but currently have lower skills and incomes than New Zealanders overall. So it's our role or opportunity to change that. The opportunity is for Māori to be staircased into higher level qualifications, to provide links from education to jobs, or as we say, from kura to jobs, and that's how we do it. And so this is how we do it. This is our program, and it's called Ora Ako Mahi. So it's a pipeline, and what we do is we, in the order, we raise awareness of the career options in the land-based industries, and we do that by going out and talking to schools. We talk at we talk anywhere, at any Māori where there's Māori, we will go and talk to them about the careers available, and the hemp industry is one of those. So. And then what we do is we get them excited, and so that they want to get into those career choices, and so we look for opportunities to put them into courses. We provide them with clear pathways, and then and we support them through their education journey through wraparound support, cultural development and leadership development, and then we have people dedicated to ensuring that they get a job at the end of their study. And so, we're only emerging, but I'll talk to you about actually Carmelle's going to talk about, this is one of our our projects.
So this is a really good case example for the hemp industry, because this is working with the direct Māori landowners. We worked alongside Kokorarata Runanga, which is in Port Levy, a little area on Banks Peninsula in Canterbury. And that's a group of about 5,000, and most of 50% of their landowners are actually under the age of 25. So you can see that great Māori, that growing Māori population and the young profile. So what we did really is Kokorarata want to restore and bring people back to the land. So we partnered with Plant and Food and Lincoln University, and we looked at a crop that they could grow on their land. And around that we built some education pathways. So it was Kokorarata is pretty isolated. It's a long way away from the rest of New Zealand, and we developed a course which was around horticulture, and horticulture is traditionally a really difficult industry to recruit young people to. It's not sexy, so hopefully the hemp industry can make it a bit more sexy, but it's actually really difficult to get people to come and study. So this was built from the ground up, and we had, there were 2 courses we ran over 2 years, and the whānau members essentially gained an organic horticulture qualification. And at the same time, we partnered with the Department of Corrections, and we delivered for basically community service clients. We developed a skills-based training course, which was chainsaws and riding farm bikes and fencing. But they got a qualification at the end of it, and to do that as part of a community sentence is actually relatively novel. And so that's one of our approaches, and I guess that's what we're challenging industry to think about, is how actually do you engage people to work on the land, how do you get them to understand and be passionate about it, and then actually come out with a qualification and move into a job. So that sort of illustrates the way that the novel approach that and the way that we manoeuvre and how we're different to the mainstream institutions.
Okay, our results are we've got a growing number of Māori taking up studies. Initially we were had focused on sheep and beef and dairy and apiculture, but we've actually branched out now. We've got horticulture, viticulture, we are into maritime, seafood processing, forestry, ecotourism, conservation, so there's a whole broad spectrum of courses that we offer. And they're offered through 3 of our cohort partners, that's Taratahi, Tohumai and NMIT at the top of the South Island. And we're able to bring those courses in different models, so not everybody can sit behind a desk and take time out to go to a tertiary institution. So we're looking at on-job training, we're looking at customised training, where you can have marae courses on your marae courses in a noho at the weekend, but you've still got to go to work during the weekend. I have one particular student that graduated with a female in a cellar operations. She got a certificate, she was able to get a job at Hort New Zealand. They have mother-friendly hours, and she's able to continue her training and go on to a bachelor. So that's the type of thing we can do. There's no one model fits every student, so we need to look at how we can do that, and that would be the same with the industry. You need to look at how you're going to train your people in your burgeoning industry, and that's where we come in. And what we're saying is, the Māori workforce is young now, and it's going to be your workforce of the future. Many of our people work in the processing end or the lower end of the value chain, and that over time will disappear through technology. So it's really important that we start now and aggregating those qualifications so that they're not only just working, at the processing level, but they're working in the labs. They're looking at management, those types of things. So that's our goal. But I suppose we have to do that with you all, because it's not just us that can make that happen, and there's no short answers. It will take time. We have graduates already in agribusiness, sheep, beef, dairy, and apiculture and horticulture, and there's heaps more to do. Okay, the student impact. I mean, this is just a little bit about the video that you saw. We recently had a graduation of 11 students. They came from different backgrounds, many of them from off the benefit. They studied full-time at a residential agricultural college at Telford and Balclutha. I don't know if you all know Balclutha, but she's pretty white. You don't see many Māoris down there, so it was a bit of a shock to the community to get these Māori people down there. But there has been a bit of a change, and they're starting to accept them. And they just graduated recently, and most of them got, well, nearly all of them got jobs. There's probably just a couple that we have to work with. But it was, yeah, so that was a really awesome occasion, and you saw that on the video. Oh, sorry. Okay, so basically we're interested in partnering. If you're interested in partnering with us to grow the skills for your business, you know, that's, you come and talk to us and finish. Kia ora.
We can take questions. Does that mean we can have 5 minutes?
Absolutely, we're going to and you've saved my my program, so thank you very much indeed. That's absolutely stunning. I like it. It's a partnership. Works really well.
We were working with Picture Culture.
Fantastic. Okay, so we've had some questions come in while you've been speaking, which is brilliant. I'll just go to the right place. A couple of questions that have come through. First of these, do you find that Māori students have a special affinity for the land due to their heritage?
Absolutely.
Here we go. Simple answer. Fantastic question. There we go. Would workers have collective ownership of hemp operations rather than just being employees be a better path for the community dynamic?
Yeah. Well, so I guess our experience is designing training schemes from the bottom up. So first and foremost, we work with landowners. And I mean, I actually think all New Zealanders have a connection with land, and it's not just Māori, but I guess it's as First Peoples, and there's a values base there. So that's where we start. And often it will be with a group of elders, but pretty much all of those older people are really interested in the young people coming forward. And I didn't really talk about it, but one of the goals, if you think 1.4 million hectares of New Zealanders and Māori land, and around 42 billion of our economy is classed as a Māori economy, with about around 5 billion controlled by 10 Māori companies. So that's a significant proportion of New Zealand's agricultural industry. And the real aspiration of those asset owners is actually to connect the young as the future successors. And that's problematic, because if you think about most Māori land is in collective ownership, it's not a lot of New Zealand land is in family ownership, but actually Māori land is in collective ownership, and there can be 50,000 beneficiaries, or there might be 2,000 if you're lucky. So that's a big succession issue. But the real challenge is around actually engaging all of these young people in the cities and actually saying, hey, you're part of Ngāi Tahu, but you know, how do we actually make that a transferable pathway for them, so that there's not just some ethnic connection, but there's actually a real opportunity to participate in the economic and social and cultural environmental growth. Short, long answer.
Fantastic. Thanks, Carmelle. That's all the questions that we've received in at this particular point in time for you both. I have to say thank you. Are there any
others?
Thank you. I think so. And in terms of our time, that's pretty much what we've got. Before you run away, don't run away. We have a small, as Richard said, we have a small gift here for your participation here today. And thank you so much for coming and sharing your story here with us on stage, and all the very, very best for the future. Ladies and gents, a round of applause, please, indeed. Carmelle Riley and Liz McElhenney. Whenua Kura.